So all of you guys should either have your goals or you should be writing them down using the formula that I just told you. Part of what we're going to talk about is being prepared and not waiting until 5 minutes after to come into the seminars. That's part of what we're going to talk about today. There's no Ian Smart, Lynn. Sorry. All right, so going back to what I said before, guys, now that we all have our goals, right? Setting it the right way is half of the battle. Making sure that you take the time to think about the intangibles, think about all the different variables that might come against you, in this battle. That's part of the goal setting as well, and that's a lot of what was maybe missed when you're sitting there and you think about a goal. You think of you think of the positives, and that's great. It's good to be optimistic. It's important to be optimistic, but that doesn't mean that you can just overlook the stuff that are going to get in your way, the obstacles that are going to come after you. Because I can guarantee you, not a single person in the seminar here had thought about, oh man, I'm going to have to do a Fit in 42 online because of a quarantine. That wasn't on your agenda. So when those things come up, you have to know, how to be ready for those things. So it's a mental battle just as much as it is a physical battle. And that's kind of what we're going to discuss today, is that mental preparation you need to go through, and not just saying, let me use this formula. S got it, M got it. Everything's good. I checked all my dotted on my O's, checked on my X, and then boom. But if you overlook all the stuff that's going to come up during your entire during this process, you're already setting yourself up for failure. And that's not what we want. So it's important to understand that once you set a goal, there's a lot of follow through that needs to come with that. The follow through, right? Like if you say something, you want to be a person of your word. You want to say, all right, I put this out. I told everybody this is what I wanted to do. I talked to my coach. This is exactly what I wanted to do. And so, it's like, I always tell my group this, and this is a really good little quote here. So it's like, when it comes to setting goals, you have to first understand that your will to win, your will to succeed needs to overcome any and every excuse if you're to get to your goal. Like your sheer desire to want to have that goal needs to outweigh any type of excuse you can throw out there. Oh, I'm tired. I'm sore. I don't have the energy today. I'm hungry. Had a long day at work. Oh, the kids are running crazy. I'm just not in the right mind space right now. So what? Get your workout in. Do what you have to do. You committed to yourself. And I think like what's happened in what I've seen is there's been this shift in self-commitment is like kind of gone to the wayside. Self-accountability is kind of non-existent. And so we need to get back to kind of identifying when we're making these goals, you need to realize what type of person are you, and you need to have that conversation with yourself in the mirror and say, hey, you know what? I know that I tend to slack in these departments, so I need to game plan and then take these variables into account. So that way, when it gets tough, I can continue to stay consistent. I can continue to stay committed. So I'm just going to go through a few key points, guys. I'm not going to spend too much time with you guys here. And then I'm actually going to call a few people out. I'm not going to say who. I'm just going to call a few of you guys out. So make sure you have your goals ready, because it might be you. Okay. So planning ahead. All right. So like when I say that properly goal setting is half of the battle, like what does that actually mean? You need to plan ahead. And that's what I said, all of the different variables that might come into account, you need to take those variables and take them seriously. Because those are probably things that if you're thinking about them before you even start the process, they're going to come up. So account for any and every single variable, positive or negative. And then you got to think to yourself, right? Write a mental note. how am I going to deal with that when this happens? How am I going to deal with that when maybe I forgot to get something at the grocery store? You know, or I'm running low on protein and I forgot to tell my coach. It could be anything. But like, how are you going to either deal with it at the time or maybe even prevent it? So doing this allows you to take preventative measures. Again, it just goes to staying prepared, staying 2 steps ahead. You don't want to be one of those who falls behind and, you know, you're having to play catch up. That's not what we want. And that's why taking these necessary steps is going to allow you to be, you know, ahead of like yourself, basically. It's half the battle is being prepared. All right. This one's good. And they're not in any specific order. Some of them might relate to one another, but these are just kind of like key points that I wrote down. This is really important, especially for most of you guys here. Eat to meet long-term goals, not short-term satisfaction. You need to make sure your nutrition is based around long-term goals and not short-term satisfaction. Okay. I had a conversation today with a few members, Kristen and Lynn, and they were asking about a seasoning, like not a seasoning, but it was a glaze, right? And it's the same, I guess it's the same, it's Mrs. Dash, right? So they see Mrs. Dash on the seasonings list that we can use to season some of our meats and our proteins and stuff. And so maybe there was just a disconnect there and thinking, oh, like, and I'm honestly really glad that you guys brought that to me before just doing it, because that was actually a huge step. So I want to give you guys credit for that. Now, you may not have liked the answer that you got, but now you know moving forward. Okay, now maybe that clicked for you. Oh, okay, so we're not eating for like, you're not eating for the same flavor, the same reasons of why you're eating. And Lynn's a freaking chef. Like, that's what she does. She makes food. So like the taste of the food matters to her, right? That's a big deal. But we're not necessarily eating for the taste. We're allowing you guys to season. Like, we're giving you guys options. But I think what she was trying to use, it was just the sugar content and then just what it had in it. That's stuff that we want to get away from, because we're pulling basically anything that has sugar, anything that's processed, we're pulling that from you guys. That's the basis of Fit in 42. And so that's kind of the reasoning why, I told them that we couldn't have that. You can add any other type of seasoning, as long as it's not like that glaze type. And so like that for her was maybe a point across and saying, oh, okay, you know what? Now that makes sense. But on the back end of that, how do I know that a lot of you guys don't have those same questions? Or maybe some of you guys might accidentally use that, not knowing. You just never know. And so a part of Fit in 42, whether it's online or not, is teaching you guys what to look for when you, let's say, go back into regular society, and how you eat moving forward. And we're just trying to retrain you to kind of say, okay, this is your foundation here. So this is something that you can always come back to. You always have like a home base. So even if you go off the deep end, which is going to happen, someone's going to do it. As soon as Fit in 42 is over, bang, they have that countdown. They have that timer in their heads. Day 43, bang, let's go crazy, go ham. Right? Or are you going to stay committed? Are you going to stay consistent because you're not done? Right? So eat to meet long-term goals, not short-term satisfaction. Letting go of like understanding that there's going to be some things that you just like can't have. As things change, like your surroundings have to change. And this is just the new way that we're teaching you guys how to eat. This is just how it needs to be done. Is there room for some, to add some stuff in when you're not doing the program? Of course. But by then, you guys are all going to know that, and it may not even taste that great to you at that time. Once you do this, you kind of learn, oh, you know what, this isn't bad. And then by week 6, oh man, this is actually kind of good. This is how I'm going to start eating. But it all depends on what's happening up here. Okay. So you guys got to make sure that when you eat, you're thinking about your goals. When you want to indulge, or when you want to give in to your cravings, think about your goals before you give in. Have a reminder on your pantry door. Have a reminder on your fridge. Put a sticky note. Put that magnet of all of us pointing at you on your dang fridge. Whatever you got to do. I'll make you guys custom magnets if you want. but you got to make sure that you guys have, you know, something ready for that, because it's going to happen. It may have happened to some of you guys already. You may have had, you know, if you guys may have had a craving and you might have just given in. And that's, you know, it's part of it is part of the process, but it depends on if you're able to bounce back from that and understand, like, man, that was a stupid mistake. I'm never doing that again. Or if you're like trying to be sneaky about it, be like, oh, well, I snuck it in last week, I can get it in this week again. Because again, going back to at the end of the program, I'm going to ask everybody, did you do everything in your power to ensure that you were successful when it came to your goal? And your conscious is going to tell me the answer that I need to know. Okay. So when you're eating, guys, you got to remember about the long-term goals here. Okay. Not in the moment there. But I mean, as you guys are learning, some of you guys are learning that this, you know, what you're eating here may be getting you like full. It may be just, it's making you feel one of two ways, like you're starving or like you're eating way too much. Nobody, well, unless you just did Fit in 42, nobody is like, oh, this is perfect. I think Christy might be the only one who was like on it still. Okay. But for most of us, there's some type of change. Like you're starving and you're full at the same time. I don't know. It might be that too. Okay. So let's go to the next one, guys. This is good. This is good. Because I'm gonna hit some, I'm gonna tickle some feathers here. About to go in. All right. Don't ever decrease the goal. Increase the effort. Bang. You just drop that mic real quick. Don't ever decrease your goal. Okay? Just increase your effort. Before you think, oh, this is too hard, I can't do this. And this is a thought that typically happens within the first 2 weeks. This is too much. I'm not ready for this. I can't keep up. No. You need to do everything in your power to make sure, and I'm talking about all across the board, guys. I just can't drink that much water. Yes, you can. Keep trying. You'll get it. I can't keep up in the workouts. Like I feel like I'm behind. That's fine. Go at your own speed. Just keep moving. Do you guys think that we think you're all Terminators and you guys are just gonna, you know, knock every workout out of the park? No, that's not the case. Everybody has to work at their own pace. If I had $1 for every modification I've ever given in my training career, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd have a lot of dollars. That's part of the business. We're all at different levels in this. But the beauty about this program is that it can cater to anybody and everybody. And we truly stand behind that because that's what we're doing right now. Across the board, I mean, I don't even know the specific numbers, but I could tell you right now, we have at least over 150, maybe between 150, 175 participants in Fit in 42. So we have a squad here. And you guys are all at different levels, different ages, right? So like everything is different. And you need to understand that. Again, every single day, at the end of the day, like you need to wake up hungry, go to bed satisfied. Every day, wake up hungry, go to bed satisfied. Every single day, that's what this has to be. It can't be like, oh, you know what, Monday through Friday, I'm going to go crazy. And then Saturday, I don't even want to get out of bed. That's not how this works. And if that's the mindset you have, you need to change it now before you end up one of those people who at the end is like, did I give it all I had? Nah, not really. That's not what this program is about. So interesting conversation I had with somebody today regarding the Zoom workouts. Okay. For me, you know, as a coach, I have two pet peeves. Number one, when you're late. Number two, when you're talking or not paying attention during the demonstration, and then we start the workout and you're like, Coach, what are we doing? Because I'm either just going to give you a look until you figure out to go run a lap, or I'm just going to keep giving you that look. Okay. So, but this is different. Zoom workouts are not inside the gym. I'm talking about inside the studio. If you're late to a Zoom workout, you should just not show up. I mean, you're at home, guys. Come on. But one of the things about the Zoom is because you're not live with your coach, you're kind of getting you're getting a demonstration, and that's pretty much it. I can't come over and single and coach anybody out. It's a little harder with what we're doing. So when we have to change our coaching style, you guys need to change how you prepare for the class. So if you know that it's a long workout, which you guys should all be reviewing the workouts beforehand, right? Going on Trainer Eyes, checking the workouts, being like, oh man, there's 10 stations here. I should probably write these down because I'm probably going to forget the first two. And these are real things that we deal with every single day. So, go out, invest in a whiteboard, order one from Amazon and a wide erase marker. Write the workouts down, just jot them down to where you can see them. I type them out in all of my notes for the messages and stuff, but then you got to come up to the computer and then you got to go back and, get a piece of paper, tape it, do what you got to do. Just make sure you understand the movements, watch the videos. So now you have 2 demonstrations before you've even done the workout. That's part of being prepared, guys. So all those little things, right? With your food, making sure you're meal prepping for the week ahead. If you know you're still working, making sure all that stuff is ready. Your water, boom, you have your gallon, then you have your regular cup that you can keep refilling. All that stuff's got to be ready. Having your vitamins, as soon as you wake up, first thing, boom, 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 everything is prepared. So your entire schedule is essentially changing, and how you do things is totally different during Fit 42 than even like regular life. Yeah, sometimes using the app to help you through your workouts is even easier for some of you guys. And since you guys are, you're supposed to check in, for me at least, you're supposed to check in through the app after the class. It just makes it that much better for you guys. But that's probably, like, as a coach, that's one of the things that I see that, the majority of is, I have all my Palm Desert guys, posting their meals and stuff on our Facebook page, and just keeping, tabs on meal prep. Every Sunday I'll be sending out a message. Let me see those meal preps. Let me see everybody who's preparing. I want to see that, because that's some type of accountability, and then now we have people, we have peer-to-peer accountability, people saying, oh, what do you use for this, or what do you do for this? And I have my alumni coming in and saying, oh, this is what you do, or this is what the servings are, because they've done it before. They know exactly because there's a lot of questions, right? But don't take any shortcuts. Don't be like, oh, this is too hard. You just got to put in that extra effort, because this is different than anything else that you have ever done, be it that it's online or not. This is Fit in 42. So the entire mindset has to change. So before you want to throw in the towel, have a little talk with yourself first and say, all right, what can I change? What can I do, to improve and get better, and make sure that I stay on track. Okay. Don't decrease the goal, increase the effort. All right. And then this next one, be stubborn about your goals and flexible about your methods. So be stubborn, or specific, as we like to say it, right? Because that's exactly what we do. But flexible about your methods. If you want to change, you got to change. What you were doing before this wasn't working for you. So why would you keep doing it? Why would you continue to procrastinate, wait till the last minute to do your meal preps? Why would you continue to procrastinate, wait till you were on your last half scoop of protein before you say, hey, coach, I need to pick up some protein? You got to be proactive about this, guys. That's why when I talked about adapting to the certain, to the current circumstances, that entails a whole lot. And that can probably be broken down into, multiple different seminars here. But I wanted to really just hone in on, all of us have goals, but are you, like, you have to, it's always having those daily conversations with yourself. Am I acting like I have a goal? If you go to work still, when I go to work, do they know that you're doing Fit 42? Do you carry yourself like you're doing Fit in 42? Or do you just like have a negative attitude and get, man, I got to eat this crap again. Man, tired of drinking water, peeing 18 times a day. Like, Because if your mind's like that, then it's you got it all twisted. That's not how this works. Speaking of, no, vanilla is somewhere between Palm Springs and Jerry's house. We're waiting because the last order got sent to the gym and nobody was there. So they took it. They have this whole process now that they're doing with COVID. It's jacking us up. They ended up shipping it back to Ohio where we get our stuff from. So then he got that. He sent out another order to Jerry's house. So should be in today, tomorrow. I'll text Jerry, figure out about that. But you got to think about, like, what are things that you're doing before? Okay, I was working out, 5-6 days a week, coach. Like, I was doing it. Yeah, but how much effort were you doing it with? Like, what type of intensity were you doing it with? When you went in, when you did, what goals did you have in mind? What was your reason why you were working out? And now, if that's changed, the workout changes. You see how that works? Like when you have a specific goal that you're attaining, everything you do should be based around that goal. So that means the workouts have to change as well. And we talked about this as well in a different seminar. We said, we're not inside the gym, and that's the reality of it. So here's what you need to do to make your workouts effective and optimize your time even at home. So you guys have been taught these things. You guys have been shown these things. So any excuse will be why. We've talked about this already. And if any of you guys have questions about that seminar, I believe we recorded it, but if it's not anywhere available to you guys, I can figure out how to go over that or record it, get it sent to you guys. But that was a really good seminar because I wanted to catch that before it became a bigger issue of, we're not inside the gym. Okay, that's fine. That doesn't mean that you should lose all of your muscle mass and just destroy all the progress you were making. So what we did is we did a seminar on how to change your training approach to fit the new regular and what it is. So when it comes to your methods, you got to think like everything, guys. I was having another conversation with one of you guys today about, focusing on mobility. And focusing on, maybe we need to get right now, the main goal needs to not be based on a specific body fat or muscle or anything like that, but it's getting you to where you're pain free. You can go through the regular workout without any modifications. But believe it or not, that can be a specific goal because there's ways to measure that. There's ways to get all that information done, but everybody's going to be on a different boat. So just be willing and understanding to change your methods and the way that you've done things in the past in order to accept that, this is a different way. It's a different approach, but it's proven, guys, it works. And that's why we can stand behind it and say, hey, you know what, like give this a shot because you will not regret it. So really, really important there, guys. And then the last one I wanted to talk about was, in our studio, I'm not sure if they have it everywhere else. They should, though, because this is going to be a powerful quote, and this is going to be something I want you guys to constantly remember. And I got to give credit where credit's due. This is Jerry's. I'm not going to take credit for this one. And he kind of started this, I think last year. And he was talking about taking the stairs, right? And this came about when he realized that he was basically like, this is third person view here. Like he's there and he's watching people taking the escalator and he's just like, no, that's lazy. Like I'm a different type of person. I'm not that person. And so there he goes taking the stairs. But what that started for me, I was like, oh man, that's gold. Because all physical things and actually like literally taking the stairs, if we think about what that means, like mindset wise, like mentally, do you take the stairs in everything you do? It's one thing to literally take the stairs, but mentally, do you take the stairs in everything you do? Do you go one step ahead every single other person and you make sure that you are outworking all of the other people that are taking the escalator? Like, is your mind that, like, are you in that much of a positive headspace to where you can actually say, no matter what this program throws at me, no matter what comes my way, I'm going to succeed because I'm going to take the stairs in everything I do. I'm going to make sure that I come out on top. I'm going to make sure I work harder than anybody else. And that's the approach you have to have. That's the exact approach that you need to have going into Fit in 42. That's just the reality of it, guys. Take the stairs. Always take that extra step. Always take those extra, like do whatever is necessary. I'll go back to it again. Your will to succeed needs to outweigh any excuse, any obstacle, any variable that comes at you. That's what's going to allow you to be on top. So now we've all set goals. Okay, we've all created some type of goal. And I want to know, what have you done so far? What actionable steps basically have you taken to put those goals in line? Not just, oh, I'm following the Fit in 42 meal plan and I'm doing my Zoom workouts and, you know, obviously, and you're here today, that's part of it. That's not what I want to know. I want to know, what have you changed? Like, what other things have you done? Because we've all had to make sacrifices and changes. Did you do them willingly? That's the big question there. Or is this like a drag for you? Is this something that you look forward to doing every single day? Have you been able to change your mindset in thinking that you this is something you get to do and you're proud to do and you want to do? That's kind of where we want to get to. So I'm gonna call on somebody here. You don't have to type it out, guys. I'm gonna call on a few people here and just kind of go through, and that's why I said everyone have your goals ready. Let's see here. Who are we going to call? A lot of you guys are like, oh, no, not me. You guys messed up. Let's start with, I'm going to mute someone here. Kara, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, Kara. All right, Kara, I want you to start off with giving us all your specific goal for Fit in 42 for the next 6 weeks.
So my specific goal was to get back down to 145, which is roughly going to be about 10 pounds for me, a little bit more, because that's kind of my weight that I'm comfortable at, that I can maintain. And I've been above that for a little while now, and I want to get back down to it.
Okay. So if you don't mind me asking, where are you currently at right now, or when you first weighed in?
I was a little bit over 155.
Okay. So 10 pounds over the normal to where you're used to being.
Yeah.
All right. So that 10 pounds, now this is where we get a little more measurable, right? Easily tracking 10 pounds that's nothing. But I want you to get more specific as in terms of, do you want that 10 pounds to be strictly body fat? Or do you maybe want to lose 15 pounds of body fat, gain 5 pounds of muscle? That's still 10 pounds. Like, you still be down on the scale 10 pounds. So, you know, those are the little things. Have you thought about those different variables?
I haven't thought about that more specifically, because I really didn't know what was realistic for like muscle gain versus fat loss in that period of time. So
in rule of thumb here, right? You can gain, I mean, it really does change each and every single week. It's all based on your hydration when it comes down to it. But the average person can gain anywhere from a quarter pound to a half a pound a week of muscle, right? And you can lose 1 to 2 pounds a week easy body fat, easily. And some of you guys might do more. It just depends on how good or bad you were before this process started. If you were like way off the deep end and all of a sudden you're going cold turkey on everything, you're probably going to lose some more. Or if you have more body fat to lose, you know, those things come into play as well. So if you do the math there, I mean, you can, in 6 weeks, you can easily lose 10 pounds of body fat. That's, yeah, absolutely. But then you got to also think, if the scale doesn't show 145 by the end of this, but you gain muscle, is that still going to be, are you still going to be content with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I would,
Now, what other than the stuff that I said, I didn't want to hear, the meal plan, the workouts and stuff, what else have you changed? Like, how have you took the initiative to make sure that everything that you're doing is in line with that goal?
so I went, I made a shopping list on Sunday, and I pretty much figured out what I was going to need for the entire week.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Sprouts Sunday and just stocked up on everything, veggies, everything I needed to make sure I had everything in line for the week.
Gotcha.
So I did that. I didn't do a lot of pre-putting together stuff because I'm at home. So it hasn't been that hard for me to put meals together as I go.
Right.
And I already had turkey chili because I usually meal prep that once a month anyway. So I did that. And then like tonight, I took a look at what I needed for tomorrow and set everything out. So I looked at, okay, what am I going to need for breakfast? What do I have for a snack? So I already have cucumbers cut out for tomorrow's breakfast, or mid-morning snack, whatever. So I'm trying to look a day ahead to get myself set up and get things set out so that it's easier for me to do it.
Perfect. Now that's exactly what I was looking for, guys. She's taking the initiative and she's making sure that, now she's in a position where she can be home and making her meals each and every single day. And I know that's not the case for all of us, but she's at least being proactive when it comes to, setting her meals and making sure all that stuff is done and timely. And that's a huge piece of it. Not just changing the meal plan and how you eat, but making sure that you are getting all of the proper nutrition and calories in. That's a big piece. Because anybody can have a meal plan in front of them, but not everybody's going to follow it to an exact T. That's just reality there. All right, let's move to somebody else. Thank you for that, Kara. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Let's go with Rosanna. Let's go with you. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, I can hear you.
All right, Rosanna. Give me your specific goal for the next 6 weeks during Fit in 42.
My specific goal is more towards building muscle. I'm started Fit in 42 way back in October, the very first time I did it. And I wasn't too successful at that because of my mentality. I wasn't prepared, definitely not proactive. And this time around, it's become, because of the time I had from the time we ended in October or November to this time when we're starting again, I've learned way much more. So this time when the menu plan and all that came in, I was like, boom, I got this. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is me. This is how I like to eat. This is what I want to eat. I'm very grateful and thankful to be here every morning waiting for my next meal. Starving, of course, because I'm freaking hungry every morning. But yeah, I mean, it's been a blessing. It absolutely has been a blessing.
That's great. Thank you for that, Rosanna. So she's in a, and that might be the case for some of you guys too. Some of you guys may have done the program before, but now you're seeing, okay, this is what I didn't do the right way the first time. This is what I failed on the first time. And so now I can come back and I can say with authority, I'm not going to let those same things, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You're not going to let that same thing happen again. So you learned from the first go around, or any mistakes that were made, but maybe not having the exact mindset you got to have. Because it's not easy, guys. It's not for everybody. But I have full faith that each and every single one of you guys is gonna make it through. You just gotta stay positive. All right, let's go to. Let's see. Let's get somebody from. Who do we got out here? Meredith. What's up, Mare? Yeah, I'm gonna try to unmute you here. It's not letting me.
Hi, Gabe.
Oh, there you are. All right. Can you hear me?
I can.
Perfect. Give everybody your goal for for this Fit in 42, the next 6 weeks?
So this is actually my second time doing Fit in 42. And my goal this time is to lose 5% body fat, which will be about 1.3% less than I've ever been before. So kind of pushing myself beyond what I was able to do last time.
Okay. And what's different this time?
I think my mental, Rosanna kind of talked about, like she brought up mental. Like for me, mentally, I'm just ready for this. I was in kind of a bad place from a diet standpoint. I'm a stress eater. And I kind of went into this feeling kind of like Kara, like up at a weight that I wasn't happy with. And it came at the perfect time. And just from a mental standpoint, like I needed it and I wanted it. And I know physically it's going to be demanding at like week 3. It just, your withdrawals are real, but you can get through it. And the 6 weeks sounds like a long time, but it actually goes by really fast.
Exactly. And then also, I know a different thing that you have from your last Fit in 42 to this one is the gentleman sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
He wasn't there for your last one, but I know he's here and he's going along the journey with you now.
How's that
changing?
I did the last one with her too. So, and a lot of the same stuff hit with us as well. Obviously with the whole virus thing going on, it was stressful. So we were eating probably worse than we should have been. So it's one of those things where it was a good chance to kind of reset ourselves and kind of get ourselves focused again.
Do you guys find that having that spousal support and that, that connection there and being able to, pick each other up maybe when one of you guys isn't really feeling it, do you feel like that helps as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that's another thing, guys, is thank you for that, guys. You got to have the support of whoever is around you, whether that be your husband, your wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, doesn't matter. Aunt, uncles, everybody's got to be on board, and you got to get them to understand. You got to have those difficult conversations sometimes. Say, hey guys, I'm doing this program because of this. I really want this. I really want to do this. It's important to me. Therefore, it should be important to you. And if someone really cares about you, they really love you, they're going to get it. They're going to understand. Right? So sometimes it's having those conversations. Let's get a couple more and then we'll get you guys out of here. Elijah looks like Connie. That's funny. He does. Let's go with Martha. Let's get someone from LQ. What's up, Martha?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. This is my first Fit 42.
Okay, that's we're glad to hear. Now let's hear it. Let's hear what your goal is during this Fit in 42.
Okay, so my goal is to lose 15 pounds, and that's including from whether it's gaining muscle and body fat loss.
So 15 pounds of change is your goal.
Yes. And a lot of people look at me, and I get from a lot of people that I'm little, but we all know our bodies.
Right.
And so, yeah, so those are my goals. And then the other goal is to be consistent in my eating, because what I notice is I feel like the food is a lot during the program, because I believe that I was skipping meals prior.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to be consistent on my eating.
Okay. And what have you done, Martha, to make sure that you are consistent with it?
Well, we, just like everyone was saying, we've done the grocery shopping way ahead of time, always have everything stocked up. And Joey's the one that does all the cooking. So Joey's doing the Fit 42 with me as well, and my daughter. So there's 3 of us. So we're all holding each other accountable. So it's been very supportive, and I think it's been pretty easy, because us 3 are doing it together and all of our workouts as well. So we're doing the grocery list, and then of course the prepping. It's nice because you can just open your fridge and your meal's right there made already.
Yeah.
So that's nice, and we're both home full time. Neither one of us is working, so we do have a lot of time, but we still are prepping ahead of time where our food, we're just grabbing it from the fridge.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. Okay. That's awesome, guys. And again, it just goes back to, thank you, Martha, to show that when you have that support, that makes all the difference there. Let's see, who's still working? Who do I know who's still working here? Like full time, still going. Ellie, let me get you, Ellie. All right, Ellie. So Ellie is this is her first Fit in 42 as well. And Ellie, go ahead and share with us your overall goal for Fit in 42.
For Fit in 42, well, it's my first time doing it. So I know I'm not going to be 100% successful because I'm still learning. I know I'm going to have my fails. And like I said, when you say support, work is the hardest place to get that support for me, because how we're in the healthcare, it's free delivery, free donuts, free coffee, free everything. So all my coworkers are coming in with free this, free that, and they don't want us to go out for food, so they're making food. And I tell them, you guys, I can't eat it. I have my diet. And then they're like, well, we made it. You can't say no to them because, they made it. And it makes you feel bad, which I'll take the plate, but I bring it home to Fernie. Well, I brought it home for Fernie today.
That's a method right there too. Like,
and it's,
if you're, I can say no. I mean, if anybody offers me something, if I don't want, everybody's a little bit different. And right now, given the times, Ellie's like, she's stuck between a rock and a hard place because
and I think
people
that's
are going
my
out of
other
their way.
Is my mentality on everything. Besides, like, I'm already working on my weight with you guys, and like I said, I'm gonna have hit and miss. My other main thing is time. By the time I get home, by the time I cook and prep, by the time I do my workout, by the time I shower, I'm missing out on time with my son, and it makes me feel bad because by the time I'm done, it's time for him to go to bed. So now I start thinking, I know I need to do this?
Yeah.
But we're taking time away from my son. So that's.
Yeah. So a couple of things there. I mean, and obviously this is Ellie's first time, so she's getting used to this, and she's adjusting, and that's going to be an adjustment period. So like, it's learning to say no again, and I know it's like hard because people are going out of their ways and stuff. I'm like, oh, I made this. Yeah, I understand, but like I really care about my health, and I care about everything that's going on right now. I want to make sure that I'll take your food, but if somebody will eat it, but maybe it won't be me. I have to stick to this meal plan because I want to be a certain way. I want to live a certain way. And eating these things aren't really in line with that. And it's not even it may be an awkward conversation because you're just not comfortable having it, but having it may clear a lot of air. And they're like, oh, you know what? She's serious about this thing. Like, dang, I thought it was just like, oh, she's doing this, thing, because maybe they've tried something like that in the past and it didn't work for them. So all of a sudden they have this pre and post disposition that anytime someone says, oh, they're doing this new workout diet plan thing, that it's going to be the same thing that they went through. I mean, we don't know these things, but sometimes it is necessary to have those conversations. It's just figuring out the right ways to have them. And, as a mom, you have all the support here. Look at everything over here. Someone's saying, try a crock pot overnight. Like, you have a lot of people who are behind you on this. And so surrounding yourself with that love and that, that attention. I know, Ellie, you got a lot of questions with the meal plans and stuff. You post them on Facebook, you usually get an answer within probably before I even see it. Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that, what Martha was saying, thanks for that, Ellie. What Martha was saying really got me thinking about the last thing I wanted to leave you guys with was, and this is kind of going back to the take the stairs thing, is you got to remember, like, throughout your entire life, you have all of your life to set all of these different goals. You need to prioritize and make sure you have what it is that's right now. And the reason why I wanted you guys to choose a goal for 6 weeks is because that's where we're at now. That is the present, okay, and the near future. But you got to think of your goals like a staircase as well, okay? And this goes back into that whole mindset of taking the stairs. You have, if you set, maybe it's 6 weeks, maybe it's months, I don't know. If you set, because we all have bigger goals than just 6 weeks. I just forced you guys to give me something for 6 weeks. We have goals though. After 6 weeks, come back, set another specific goal for the next 6 weeks. After that 6 weeks, come back, set another, and make this a regular thing. And then before you know it, you're taking the stairs to your ultimate body, the ultimate person that you want to see, the ultimate person that you want to be. You'll get there. You just have to trust that it's going to take time. It's going to take dedication, commitment, all of the above. So what you do now is going to be, again, it's going to determine your long-term success. So don't give in to the short-term satisfaction and give up on that long-term success, because at the end of the day, like, is it worth it? Like right now, Ellie, yeah, I know it's tough, like not having that time with Roman because you're working and you got to come home, you got to cook. But when Roman's a little bit older and you're able to run around with him at the park, you're able to be there cheering him on at all his sporting and stuff, like that's what this is about right now. And you have everybody, that has your back here. So always remember, guys, life is that's just how it works. You got to learn to set goals, and you need to be slowly just adding to that list, and just know that there's a staircase and eventually you'll get there. You just have to make sure everything that you do is in line with your current goal. And then once you achieve that goal, you choose something else. Some people like to go, A to Z, straight to the top. And if you don't have it planned exactly the way it needs to be, if you don't have that self-dedication, if you don't have that self-accountability, it's really hard to get there. But when you start to break it down into smaller steps, that slowly builds. Slow and steady wins the race, right? You guys just got to stay with it. Stay dedicated. Always setting different goals. After you do 20 push-ups, and you can do 20 push-ups, no problem. What's next? All right, 25. Set a date. Let's get it. After you get that one pull-up, all right, now I want to do 2. Set a date. Let's get it. And so setting both short-term and long-term goals is a part of this as well. But acting like you have both short and long-term goals is the most important piece. Because at the end of the day, when you walk around, when you go to work, when you're doing your everyday things, do you act like you are someone who's trying to achieve a specific goal right now? And that's what I want you guys to kind of get out of this, is everything that you do has to be pertaining to this goal. Everything. All right, so look into Ninja Food. Awesome, and gets things done quick. And these are all, I think, messages for you, Ellie. I want to run the entire bump and grind, hike, left, run, entire right side in under an hour. These may be more long-term, but that's a goal you got. Set a date for it, and I'll go run it with you. So we're all one big family, guys, and that's what I want you to get. Now you have, those of you guys who came out and you said your goals, Kara and Martha and who else was there? Meredith. All of you guys that came out and said your goals. Now you guys have, everybody here knows. Rosanna, everybody here knows. That's accountability, guys. So I want everybody checking in with them and seeing how they're doing in 6 weeks. Make sure they got their goals. Make sure they got to where they need to get, and then challenge them to choose another one. Because that's what it's about. Constant progress. Always striving for more. All right, guys. That's going to wrap it up there. I think you guys are supposed to take pictures, right? Are you guys supposed to take pictures and post them? That's what my guys are supposed to do. I don't know if everybody else is. And I know it's kind of late for some of you guys, so smile. Yeah, okay. Give you guys a little one. All right, Jay, go get ready for those Raiders tryouts, bud. Yeah, buddy. Gains, baby. All right, you guys. I'll let me get out of here now. Thank you guys for all coming up. Make sure you guys check in with your coaches. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you guys later.